Yo, what's up, guys? Your Warlord Gangster here to talk about if Silver Wolf is worth pulling for. We're going to go over her kind of kit, some team comps that she's good with, as well as the other 4 stars that are going to be pulled on her banner as well. And we're going to loop that all in to see if there, is some value here, or if you should just skip for the next banner. So without further ado, let's get into it. Silver Wolf, let's see what her kit does. Scrolling right on up here. Let's go over her single target attack here called System Warning. Deals quantum damage equal to 50% of her attack, scaling all the way to 130%, with a 65% chance of implanting a random bug. Those bugs are just debuffs that, if we scroll down here, can reduce attack by 5%, reduce defense by 4%, and reduce speed by 3%. You can only get one, right? And then these bugs last for 3 turns. It's random what you get, but you can do a lot of damage with the reduced defense as well as her skill. Her skill being allowed changes. There is a 75% base chance to add 1 weakness of an ally's type, which if you're going to pair with something like a hyper carry of Seeley that already shares her quantum element with her, then it's really, really good to get that weakness typing on an enemy that doesn't have it if you're looking to brute force that in game. This also reduces the enemy's damage resist to that weakness type, right, which makes them just take 20% more damage for 2 turns, and you can further increase this by 7.5% just as a whole. You're not really looking to do this though, because you could end up overriding the weakness type, and because you can only have 1 weakness type applied by this skill. So if you get that quantum, you're looking to skip for 2 turns, and then after that you're just kind of going for the stacks anyway. Really, really good. Does a little bit of damage too, but that's not the main giveaway to it. We don't really care. The last one, there's a 85% chance to decrease the target's defense. This is her ultimate, right? User banned. Target's defense decreased by 36%. This, with the added 20% damage of that weakness type, is going to get you really, really big gains. Now, that being said, there is more than one team comp that you can run if you're not running the Seeley, and you do have something like the Jing Yuan or even the free-to-play Serval, and we'll be talking about that real quick. But this does scale up to 100.7% base chance with a 50% hefty increase. That is huge 50% increase. Now you scroll down here, we can go over her Eidolons real quick. Eidolon 1, after using her ultimate to attack enemies, Silver Wolf regenerates 7 energy for every debuff. This kind of just goes for, like, if you have a bunch of debuffs on your team, then this is really good. You can get 7 times 5 energy, 5 being the number of debuffs that are stacked onto that enemy, for a whopping 35 per ultimate. So I mean, like, that just pretty much gives you another cash in for your ultimate regeneration. As far as like how practical it is, depends on kind of what you're running with. If you're running her with like Jing Yuan or Seeley, not really that practical to get the full value out of it. But regardless, with the Serval comp, it is very, very worth. Now going to here, Eidolon level 2, when an enemy enters battle, reduce their effect resist. This just kind of goes so you have an easier time to get that weakness right implanted, or that bug implanted as well. Really, really nice, because it's not 100% chance. Keep that in mind. Some people are like, if it's not 100%, it's 50%, which, and you're not wrong. And then Eidolon 4, after using her ultimate to attack enemies, deals additional quantum damage for 20% for every debuff currently on the target up to 5 times, so an extra 100% damage to that ultimate, right, which can scale up all the way to 456 damage for a whopping 900% damage. That's really huge. That's kind of making Silver Wolf into her really, really damage carry archetype, which goes really well with her light cone. And then number 6, it just increases it even further. For every debuff the target has, damage dealt by Silver Wolf increases by 20% up to 100%. So you can get another 100%, boom, right there, multiplier to the enemy. And the light cone going down increases the wearer's hit rate by 24 to 40%. That just makes your bugs and stuff guaranteed, does it not? But that being said, is it really needed? No. A lot of the nihility light cones just kind of increase your effect hit rate anyway, so it's kind of whatever. But looking further down here, if the target has 3 or more debuffs, it increases your crit rate by 12 to 20%. That is really huge if you're looking to get those Eidolons and you're welling it out. Then by all means, get that light cone too. You're gonna have good times with her, especially if you're running her in the debuff comp. Now everyone says the free-to-play comp, but Serval is on her banner as well, so you can make that very, very spicy very quickly. After the wearer uses their basic attack, skill, or ultimate, there's a 100% chance to implant Aether Code, which makes them just receive more damage, up to 12 to 20% increased damage for 1 turn. That just means you can have, like, you know, all that Hail Mary just boom bam going in, and as long as you do any kind of damage with Silver Wolf, that is always applied. Now if you get, you know, CC'd or something, we can talk about that, but if not, you know, it's all gravy anyway. Now looking at the team comps that she can be really, really good in, you can see right here, Seeley, oh my god, don't know why it does that. Seeley, Silver Wolf, Ting Yun, and Bailu. That's gonna be like your bread and butter for now, as far as like Silver Wolf comps goes. That's gonna be the comp that everyone's gonna brute force with. So if an enemy isn't weak to quantum, you can really get that quantum weakness in, and boom, fair amount. Very, very good. Now if you don't like Seeley, you don't have Seeley, you can also pair with Jing Yuan with the Bailu as well to give you that 50% chance for the lightning. And if you're doing, like, I would say softer content, then you can, you know, sub out the Japard or the main character for shields, and instead go with another lightning like Ting Yun. Now that does mean you might be a little bit, you know, hard pressed with some skill points here and there, but it does mean that you get that 75% chance to get that lightning debuff in there and really just score home your runs with more, you know, lightning damage as a whole. The kind of brute force you want to show Jing Yuan some love. Now that being said, if you're not really looking to use Silver Wolf primarily for her weakness ability, right, then in that case you could run her with a damage comp of Serval. Her is another debuff or a debuff advantager, if you will, and then Sampo, which loves dipping dots. Serval applies the dots, Sampo dips right in and dots even more. With all those dots and debuffs, you already know Silver Wolf is going, oh man, look at all this, I have all of my stuff all fully stacked. Especially when you start getting those Eidolons, it is very, very, very good. I would say this is probably the perfect comp if you're gonna whale. Oh my god, I don't know why it does that, man. That makes me so mad. But I would say like the Serval comp is like the perfect comp for if you're gonna whale, you know. Then it's really cool to just kind of tinker around with that, because then you just don't really care about the whole, you know, or Seeley shtick. But you know, feel free to try all of these if you are willing in that case. Now you don't have to whale for that, but if you got very lucky with Serval, then you can, you know, kind of be going with this. All these links will be in the description below, by the way. If you guys want to check out any of this stuff for yourself, I highly recommend you guys do your own research and tinkering here and there to kind of see what works for you. If there's something I missed, please put in the description below, or no, comments below, and you know, we'll talk about it and go from there. So this is the Ascension Planner. Now it is only 6 days and some change till she comes out. Not that high, you know. I plan to make this a little sooner, but you know, I wasn't here. But anyway, they don't have her light cone on this side, but it's an Hilly light cone, so you can, you know, just kind of go with this as you will, because the, you know, the biggest bang for your buck is going to be the EXP and the credits anyway. All everyone's hitting that level 50 threshold, and they're learning just how fast your resources can just dissipate like that. Hopefully, you know, our family in Hoyoverse kind of remedies that, because that is not that good to happen right now. I think it's just like a bottleneck thing. We're not going to talk about that in this video. What we are going to talk about is just how many resources you need to catch Silver Wolf up if you are going to just shove her in the main team. Now, I don't think she needs all this. This is with all of her traces and stuff. You know, even level 60, you can just kind of plug and chug her, especially with Seeley, that's just going to do all that weakness damage for you anyway. Her with a good tank, with some you know, stuff as well. Not bad, not bad. Now, going forward, we're going to talk about the other 4 stars that are on the banner, starting with Dong Hung. Mainly going to be the Eidolons, right, because that's what you're pulling for. So if you do end up getting them, this is what we're going to talk about. Eidolon 1, when the target's HP is greater than or equal to 50%, increase crit rate by 12%. This just makes them into, you know, a more reliable carry, I would say. Eidolon 1, pretty free. Eidolon 2 reduces talent cooldown by 1%, or by 1 turn, sorry. And if we go over to his talent, whenever Dong Hug's the target of an ally's ability, kind of like March 7th or a Ting Yun, a Bronya even, right? Going for that wind composition. His next attack has wind res pin, and it makes him do 18% increased damage. You can only trigger this every 2 turns base, but with the Eidolon 2, you can trigger every 1 turn, so you can always have that up. Pretty good. You always like seeing characters just do the most amount of damage they can, and Eidolon 2 is a very, very good spot for Dong Hung. Great. And a lot of people like the crap on Dong Hung. He does do a very fair amount of damage by himself, and also the weakness break damage he does is immaculate. Really love it. Now, Eidolon 4 is where he really starts to spike as a kind of replacement, or, you know, sub for Seeley, because when Dong Hung uses his ultimate to defeat an enemy, his next action is advance forward by 100%, which means that his turn can happen. And again, kind of like Seeley, right? So in that case, Adelan 4, you already have that. Then you're looking for like a Donghung hyper carry team at that point, and it can be very, very good. Now scrolling down, Adelan 6, the slow state triggered by skill reduces the enemy speed by an additional 8%. I mean, that's fine. If you look at the skill, it's by 12%, so it goes up to 20%. I mean, like that again, just makes them into like a diet Seeley, right? Which you could have some pretty fun like hunt simulated universe runs, but outside of that, you're not really looking to do all that much. Adelan 6, I think, is kind of like whatever. You're really looking to spike the Adelan 4, and then after that, you're just like, whatever, got another Donghung and don't care. The next one we're gonna look at the banner is Asta, right? So Asta, Adelan 1, when using skill, deals damage for an extra 1 time per enemy. I mean, that's fine. The main thing you're gonna use this for is the break effect, right? That her skill has. If someone is weak to fire, then that is actually very, very nice. I'm sure all of us have run into like, you know, some kind of situation where that boss has like that just smidgen of weakness break left, that little bitty bit of armor left that we just can't break through, that Adelan will definitely do for you. Adelan 2, after using her ultimate, also charging stacks will not be reduced in the next turn. That's pretty huge, right? Because if we scroll up, it ends up, hold up, let's read this. Gains 1 stack of charging for every different enemy hit by Asta, plus a extra stack of enemy has fire weakness, right? Which just means that, you know, she can gain a lot of stacks if things are weak to fire. For every stack of charging, also has all allies attack increases by 7%, up to 5 times, totaling 35%. Starting from her second turn, also charging stack count is reduced by 3 at the beginning of the turn. But if you use her ultimate, it's not reduced by 3, which means you can really keep that snowball rolling with Asta as a damage, which does pair well with Donghung, which increases speed as well, right? So all in all, pretty good. I think Adelan 2 is going to be a very good power spike for her. Adelan 4, Asta's energy generation increased by 15%. When she has 2 or more charging stacks, this just goes very well with her Adelan 2 as well. At that point, I mean, why not run her? You know, it's very, very good on that case. If you get the Adelan 4 with the Donghung as well, super good. Adelan 6, charging stacks lost each turn is reduced by 1. So instead of losing 3, you lose 2, which means you always have a case if you have, you know, your max stacks, and you're always going to have this 2 or more charging stacks, which is pretty rare. So all in all, if you do end up, you know, getting Asta, she is a very, like, I would say not as important buffer as something like Ping Yun or something, but I still use her today and I think she's great. I think she is fantastic, especially with that fire weakness. Can very, very much punish the enemy for having that as well. I really like Asta. I think she's looked down upon, but I don't know why. And the last one we look at is Serval. So Serval again, kind of has that dip and dot with her ulti, right? If people are shocked, then you'll do a lightning dot, right? So let's go into this. Adelan 1 basic attack deals lightning damage equal to 60% of basic attack damage to a random adjacent enemy. This just means you have more AoE. I mean, it's okay. You know, on the boss, you're kind of like, that's kind of whatever. I know she's an elation character, right? Or, you know, like the multi-hit character. It's kind of whatever. Now, Adelan 2 Encore. Every time Serval's talent is triggered to deal additional damage, she regenerates 4 energy. Let's look at her talent. After Serval attacks, deal additional lightning damage equal to 36% of her attack damage to all shocked enemies, and shock can come from stuff like, you know, her ultimate, and more importantly her skill, which is going to be your main little bit, right? And shock just applies a dot, which goes very well with Sampo, right? He likes people applying dots, amplifying the dots. Those make you into a great debuff machine, which Silverwolf likes if you're going to pull her as well. Very, very good synergy here. Underlooked synergy almost, I would say. Kind of would be looking out for that. And then scrolling down, have Adelan 4 makes the noise. Ultimate has a 100% base chance to apply shock to any enemy that is not currently shocked. This shock has the same effect as the one applied by the skill. Now this just means that your ultimate, if something's not shocked, right, because your ultimate just increases the duration, instead can just apply the shock, which is huge. I would say Adelan 4 is immense, especially going with this energy regeneration. It double dips, baby. We love to see it. Now scrolling down Adelan 6, Serval does 30% more damage to shocked enemies. If you end up getting that and you're not running a Serval comp, what are you doing with your life? Come on, that is a very hard hitting comp. GU1 has a run for his money at that point, especially with the Sampo on deck. I would very much recommend that as a whole. Now, let's talk about the real money shot here. Is Silver Wolf's banner worth pulling on? We kind of have to compare a little bit here. If you have 2 more healers and you have Seele, I say Silver Wolf is a no-brainer pickup. She can really brute force that content, especially going into in-game with Seele as well. Can gladly implement her, especially with the upcoming resources that we hopefully get. In that case, sure, I would say pull for Silver Wolf. She is 100% worth. Now, if you do not have that, but you have something like a Serval and a Sampo, and you kind of want to run, you know, that makeshift, you know, debuff damage comp, you can absolutely do that as well. It would be a more fun nihility kind of run instead of like an in-game thing that you would like more seriously run. Nihility, you know, in the simulated universe. So she could be very fun in that regard. All in all, again, if you already have 2 healers and you have Seele, I would say definitely pull for her. Why not? If you don't, I would probably say save to Lucha. Lucha's going to be kind of OP, all in all. That being said, Silver Wolf is still a great pickup. With her nerfs, as people said, it just makes it a little bit less like instrumental in every team comp, because then, you know, the bugs aren't running rampant and blah blah blah. But she is still a very good viable option to brute forcing that content if that is what you want to do, or you just have someone that you really like. She can really pair well with them with that mono weakness team. As I said earlier about, you know, like, you know, Jin Yuan here, if I find my team comps, this runs you know, 50% chance, right, because there's 2 lightning users in this team. If you run a Team Yuan here, that's 75% chance to get that lightning debuff. You can really get it on there, and that's what people say when they say mono team, right? Or whatever with Silver Wolf. It just means that all the rest of the people are the same you know, element type. But, you know, if there's something that I missed, leave it in the comments below. I think that you know, I'll be pulling for her, of course, just because I really like her kind of synergy that she has with Seele, and, you know, I'm trying to do that collect them all character thing, and I'm getting pretty lucky so far. So we'll see how long we can keep that luck without having to drop, you know, some serious money or something. But as far as like a free-to-play thing goes, again, you know, if you need another healer, I'd just say skip. Get Lucha, get that locked in, really go for that, you know, Memories of Chaos after that. But, you know, if you do have Seele, like you pull the first banner, you skip Jin Yuan or something, the Silver Wolf is a pretty good pickup as well. So yeah, guys, you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Missed something, leave in the comments below. Until next time, thank you all for watching. Peace.